Happy Homebrew Wednesday. For this week I thought I'd bring you up to date with my mead. Now if you remember back in January of last year I did my first mead and I've been letting it set for, well, almost a year now. And I bottled up my first variation of it today. You can see it's really super clear. This is going to be the control. And what I've done is I've created 2 additional teas from it. So I made 3 gallons. I've taken 1 gallon and bottled it up today. And then with the other 2 gallons, I split them off here into these glass carboys and added some herbal teas to them. In one, I've got a raspberry, and in the other, I've got a hot cinnamon tea. So they're going to go ahead and just steep overnight for 24 hours, and then I'll go ahead and bottle these guys up tomorrow. Yeah, and then we'll probably, I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna add sugar into the bottles or not. I may take a couple bottles and try and carbonate them up, but I may just go ahead and leave them as still and see how it goes. So hopefully the long exposure to the teas, 24-hour period, but they're not hot teas, right? So it's been cold steeping the entire time. So hopefully I won't get any of those tannins or anything like that. If you've ever done this, let me know about your experience. But I'm doing this based on a little bit of information I've read about up on in the Zymery magazine. So yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is a little experiment I've got going on involving Norwegian yeast known as Kveik. Kveik is, if you do a direct translation, it is yeast, even though the most popular word for yeast in Norwegian is called jad. Kveik is a dialect derivative, I believe, from the Telemark region. So I was able to contact a guy that has been posting up on Milk the Funk recently called Amund Polden, which I believe is one of the instructors here for a local beer tasting course that you can take called Smak Selv, where it's like taste yourself. And he also has a new brewery, or I think it's part of the school, a small brewery that is doing Kveik yeast fermentations in barrels. The brewery itself is called Eik og Tid, which means oak in time, which I think is a pretty good name for a brewery. Anyways, so I contacted him via Facebook, and he was gracious enough to share with me a few variations or a few strains that he has of the Kveik yeast, which is taken from Norwegian farmhouses. So you can think of them as, farmhouse ales. So the one that's most popular and one that's being propagated and sold locally here in Norway is called a Muri, and it's a M-U-R-I. So I went ahead, I got a sample of that straight from the source rather than something that's been propagated. So I want to go ahead and stay original, as at least true to form as possible. A lot of these, they fall under the names of the farms which they were, where their origins are from, or where they came from. So I have another one here called Sigmund Jørnes, and this is from the area of Voss. So this is from his farm, or the family farm, and so that's the name that they've given it. I have another one here called Stig Stolgen, and yep, just gonna go ahead, go through them. Another one called Arva Espi, and Arva is a popular boy's name here, so Espi being the family name. And then Nornes. I didn't see really so much about the label on this was pretty bad when I first got it. So it's Nornes B, I think. The numbers on this 4101, 4104, 4107, 4108. It's going to be one of those. I don't really know exactly which one. So anyways, I took them from the vials and I went ahead and put them in some containers I don't have more of these, unfortunately, so I'm just going to go ahead and start off propagating from, really, these were dried yeast. There was 2 or 3 of them were dried, so it was like they were dried post-fermentation, scraped off the fermenter, and straight into, one of them was actually in a flour bag. So just paper bags, really. So I took it and then gonna go ahead and propagate it, very wild yeast like. So I'm gonna go ahead and propagate these up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do a recipe for each one of these, and the experiment will be based on a very light saison, low IBU recipe. And really, I want to determine what the characteristics of each one of the yeasts are. What are the taste and notes specifically? The aroma and the taste and notes. So what I'll do is I'll ferment them probably anywhere starting at 18 or 20 degrees Celsius. And then the opposite end of the scale will be 35 degrees Celsius. So I'll do that for each one of them over the course of time. And then, of course, I'll go ahead and share my taste and notes with everyone so that you can sort of gauge what the differences are between the cultures. And I plan on keeping these cultures going over a long period of time, just to have them and also share them with people if you want them. All right, so one bad thing that happened this week was I was cleaning up around the shelf here in the brewery, and the pH meter fell on the floor and refuses to come on again, so I need to get a new pH meter. Beyond that, I did get some storage containers. I think I'm probably one of the last ones to get some large storage containers for like sacks of grain that I like to buy. Yeah, I don't like to buy just a couple kilos here, a couple kilos there. Now, you know, with my own mill, so I can just go ahead and buy a big sack of grains, but I didn't have any place really to put them. They were just off in the corner, but finally I got something to contain them. Here, take a look. A little glimpse of my mess over here, but got the specialty grains up there, and now I finally have, these are 60-liter containers, airtight. I know some people actually use them as fermenters, but I got 3 of them actually. There's 1, and then there's 2 on the bottom. And then I have a whole sack of wheat malt that, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get another container for that, but it's not very often I'll buy a whole sack of wheat, so I don't think that's really gonna be necessary. But yeah, I think something for Pilsner, pale malt, and then I got also one for the honey malt that I still have. Yeah, I gotta use that stuff up. And finally, the last thing I'm going to showcase this week is the new tasters that I got. I got 1 bar here, and this is from the same company, the Rastal. So that's the Italian company that makes those Tiku glasses. So you know, I've been watching guys like Lermo 22 forever, and they've got a really nice set of tasting glasses, and so I've been looking out for some. I saw these come around. Unfortunately, they only had 1 box available. I got these at a local homebrew shop called Briggeland, and I'm hoping that they're gonna order more so that I can get probably a few of these in, so I can share some tasters with all the different beers I have on tap with some of the guests that stop by from time to time. So let's go ahead and do the proper thing. Alright, so here we go. I got it filled up with this year's Supercharger. So this is the one I brewed up a few weeks ago with my colleague, and you know, you can see it's not really clear yet. It's only been in the keg for about a week, actually 6 days. Carved it up 30 psi for 2 days, and then down on serving pressure for a few days now. And yeah, it's serving really nice. Let's go ahead and it's smelling really nice, tasting really nice. Exactly like I remember. It's just such a beautiful beer. Yeah. What can I say about this, you know? It's that guy right there. Really miss that guy. And really appreciate the guys at Panhead for sharing the recipe and getting it out with everybody. Good things. I hope you all are having a hell of a week. Have a better weekend. Cheers.